Paradox games are known for a lot of different things, but one of the things that I am thinking is not unique, but certainly less common in, the general gaming sphere that Paradox seems to excel at is just a frequency of updates that come to their games, especially when they're first released. And sure, a lot of these patches and hotfixes and updates are coming because the games are not releasing in the perfect way, right? But I'd argue very few games do nowadays, and at least we can be sure that we're a part of the process of the games becoming better. And that is, I think, what we're getting here as well. Because today we got another hotfix to 1.0.8, which was the beta that came out, and I have been relatively enjoying. This is the second hotfix for it, and yeah, it's been out for 2 days. This is the second hotfix, so we're eating good. This one is to do with the military, so I feel particularly vindicated, and because I feel like a lot of these changes may be kind of directly related to things that I have done. So, obviously, this just for the military. All we need to do is look at here. Fixed a bug where morale was not scaled by current strength. This is going to mean that when you are doing damage with your regulars, they are going to be doing less morale damage to levies than they were before, because their current strength of a regular is, say you've got 600 men in a unit, or 800 men, or 400 men. They were instead doing 1,000 men's worth of morale damage. So they were able to output morale damage as if they were a 1k stack or a 1k regiment, which obviously there wasn't 1,000 men there, so that has been scaled back again. Bombard phase has been reduced to 5 hours. This will lower the amount of damage you can do with a cannon stack, which is something I've been experimenting with, let's say, in my Netherlands campaign. Damage to not engaged, so the amount of damage you are doing to regiments that are in the reserves, if there is no one opposing your flank, and again during the bombard phase, is now plus 10% strength and plus 20% morale instead of plus 50 and plus 300. The difference between these two numbers is absolutely colossal, absolutely huge. Levies should no longer reset cooldown when stack wiped, so when you kill an enemy levy force, if you manage to stack wipe it, even with these changes, they're not going to just completely be re-raised instantly. This is going to make wars a lot shorter, it's going to make stack wipes a lot more brutal, and it's going to keep the population of your enemies and adversaries slightly higher than it would have otherwise been. They have also standardized the bombard chances a bit over the ages, so when you are in the bombard phase, your cannons don't just, I'm going to fire every single tick. They roll a dice, and if they roll high enough, then they will be able to, do some damage. So that has been standardized. Apparently that changed over every age. And then also, artillery now take 50% more damage. So, yeah, some pretty decent changes. This here is campaign that I've got going on where I'm playing as Sweden. It is an Iron game. I'm trying to prepare myself for getting the Line of the North achievement. But what I'm going to do now is cancel out of this game, hop into my Netherlands game, and see if we can get into a fight and see what these changes are going to mean for us. Okay, so I declared war on France. It is just a no CB, and I'm in a lot of debt and pain, but that's fine, it's fine. Essentially what we have here is my 15,000 cannons. These are, of course, the chambered cannons. They are 300 men per unit. And yes, I am going to be going up against pure levies. But I think one thing I need to basically put forward as an argument here is that while, yes, regulars in this era will completely dumpster levies, the problem is the AI, which is the vast majority of the countries you will be fighting in this game by a factor of 99.9999 to 1, or to 0.0001, whatever. Basically, you're going to be fighting against the AI a lot. And if the AI in 1639 is coming at me with 25,000 levies, I would argue that the player shouldn't be able to completely trivialize all warfare by just going with regulars and completely foregoing levies entirely. So, while yes, this is not going to be a fair fight, and I do expect my guys to win, because regulars versus levies is still a thing, although, again, with this update, I don't know that for sure yet, especially since my expertise of my levies of my regulars is quite high. Again, I would argue that the levies need to be brought up to a point where if the AI is going to be using them as frequently as they do, we need them to be in a spot where just being able to stack wipe with impunity with these, like, because I don't need to double the size of army, right? Of course, I'm paying a hefty amount for these regulars, but if 15,000 is able to do, you know, an absolute gargantuan amount of casualties, and just for a little bit of exposure or whatever, when I fought France to take the North Coast, the final casualties in that war were I lost 1,519 men. My enemies lost, or France lost 655,000. And this is from combat alone. No attrition taken into account at all. If the AI is going to be so interested in using levies and doesn't really want to switch over to regulars, then this is a situation that needs to be remedied. Anyway, let's have this fight and see what's going on. 25,000 there. Of course, there is a -1, potentially a -2, depending on if they cross the river. But I can't really help that. That's not really what we're looking for as a relevancy. We're going to arrive on the 14th of June at 9 o'clock, and we have the fight. So we have the bombard phase. It's already over, because we've been going on for 5 hours now. My apologies for that, but at least, you know, we've gone through the bombard phase, and we have not stack wiped the enemy yet. So already this is looking like a large improvement. I do have plus 20% morale, plus 6.5% discipline. He has plus 10% discipline and plus 10% morale. So, you know, combat stats there are different. But I would argue that while I did win and did quite heavy casualties, it wasn't quite as one-sided as it was, you know, an hour ago before this patch came out. If I'm taking this level of casualties to get this number to 655,000, this number is going to be far greater than 1,500 for sure. So we have seen. I would argue that this is an improvement, although, you know, obviously you can still do various crazy things like stack wipes on these guys. Actually, not this one. But this is I'm definitely taking more casualties, which is good to see. What I will say is I'm curious as to how cavalry is going to work, because I have been assured that replacing all of these cannons with pure cavalry would actually do the same thing. I'm not wholly convinced. Maybe now that the bombard phase has been reduced, that might actually be the case, but I'd have to do some more testing and see. But either way, that's looking like, in my opinion, an improvement. I'm still doing stupid casualties with regulars, and I think the issue that I would like Paradox to address in the future, or rather ASAP really, is I would like to see the AI be less interested in throwing levy after levy, and of course now that the changes come out where they will not completely re-raise them instantly after being stack wiped, that might be the case. But I would like to see them go harder into regulars starting in age 3. Age 3 should be a mix of regulars and levies, and then in age 4 plus, and I'm in age 5 now, I should see very few levies, unless like it is a existential crisis situation. The AI at the moment raises levies instantly, and I don't know if that is the case, because it's both harming their economy and it's harming their population because those levies just die. So maybe some changes could be seen there. But anyway, I'd like to hear what you guys think. So let me know in the comment section below. My campaign as the Netherlands, I will be continuing tonight streaming it. If you're interested in watching that, Lord Lambert _ on Twitch. There will be a link in the description. We'll be continuing this campaign. Probably not going to no CB France, though. That might not happen. But we have a couple of achievements that I'm going to be running for, and we also need to go through the court and country. So if you want to see how someone navigates the court and country disaster, then that might help you out. So, yeah, update 1.0.8 part 3 is out. So go and enjoy that and give me your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.